This map is starting. Oh, welcome back, folks, to the Kraken Bounty. We finally got map number one underway here on Gavutu. Maps and modes and rather team names still unfortunately incorrect. Trivec on the left is not actually Trivec. Hinete's going to be in red. Trivec's going to be in blue. I know a lot of that was trying to at least figure out what the teams are going to be and what sides and colors they're on. And unfortunately, it just comes up a little bit short. Either way, though, we started off. Beautiful start there for the side of Jinete as they've gotten themselves right in towards point number one. A couple of trades going to go back and forth, but Alan leading the way. And Alex, if we could we get the stats on the board, or at least on screen for each of the two teams? That would be fantastic.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a run for Jinete earlier. We'll get those numbers here for you in just a little bit. Without stats, what are we as casters, right? 36 seconds for Jinete so far. Mailing some shots on this one. Suspects trying to get something going right there. Not going to happen. A little bit longer range attempted. This classic AR versus SMG play there. Cornmeal.
Also, Alex, if you can hear me in the background here, stats on the players would be awesome. The most important thing, though, that I think everybody is going to be wanting is the mini map. There is no mini map there, so if you can, awesome. Thank you so much. We just got word that he is working on the mini map. I don't know how long that's going to be or what that means, but hopefully we'll get it here in just a moment. Either way, though, we'll go ahead and walk you through it. 60-point lead right now for the side of Jinete. 5 in a row here from Phantom Ice, so that'll be a glide bomb to go ahead and put in the back pocket. Maybe use for now or save it for point number 3, which we know is such a wide open hard point towards the top right of where the mini map would be, of course. But as S2 now looks to go towards the point, it's going to be a solid push here from the side of Trivec to try and break on in. When Phantom Ice is flying like that, it's going to be hard to stop him. He's got full streaks.
Taking out teammates, taking out opponents, all the same. Man's got a bloodlust in his eyes after winning that land down there in Miami under Kilobyte 3 months ago, whatever that was. 82-point lead here for Jinete against Trivec / New Threat. Looking on to the futures right now as Jumper is taking himself a beach day.
Inside the tank, towards the right, Jumper. Trying to find a couple of shots there on the suspects. Also, as a teammate, though, pushed up the map. So this is the first amount of time the Trivec have really gotten for themselves on the hill. But as I say that, it is going to be the glide bomb called in by Phantom Ice. He'll drop that right on top of the hard point. So about 10 seconds was earned for Trivec, and that's great. But Jinete, once again, are broken right back in towards the hard point. This has been nothing but a thrashing so far, but just really solid team play from Jinete. They've completely shut Trivec out of this game.
Yeah, there's a reason why we see these anchor plays from these AR players out here on this beach area. Jumper now, not having anything of it, though. Now Phantom Ice, the other star of this squad, looking outside, trying to mail some shots. Not going to happen. Now rotations coming in, or at least anticipating some respawns to his backside. There's the mini-map. That's what we love to see. A full 4-man set from the Jinete Gaming squad. Pretty well set up over here. They're going to take the last 10 seconds as their reward and move on to the next hard point.
I guess we'll take baby steps as we go forward. That's not necessarily the mini map we want, but I guess I'll take any sort of the mini map, especially when we're looking to the next portion of rotations. So, I guess I'll give the props there where credit's due to get the mini map up for rotations, so we can see where the players were going to be and how the setup's looking for the side of Trivec. But right now, as we see, the first 15 seconds have gone to the way of the blue side. Jinete are going to try and break back over towards this point. It is going to be Alan, the first one to push up. Looking for potentially a nade kill right off the front, but as Damien's going to be there, Bebe's going to be able to find the trade. It's a pinstripe kill feed that allows Jinete Gaming once again to break in. It was a good 25-second hold from Trivec, but it won't be nearly enough to even get them close to getting back in this game.
Yeah, that's going to be all for not as of right now. S2 out, not able to get it. I said it before and I'll say it again. Classic SMG versus AR situation up close and personal. Jumper now, AR in hand, automaton in hand. On jump up, takes down one, looking for a second, pre-fires and more. That's just classic COD timing right there, McCornmeal.
Shots from across the map won't be able to fall. Jinete, guess what? They're rotated once again over towards point number 5. We're in the last hill on our first set of rotations here on Gavutu. Over the top, shots on the suspect. S2 there for the help. As you look to jump down, Bebe's going to be there. Phantom Ice looking to help from the middle of the map as well. Will unfortunately be taken down. That's going to be 3 down for the side of Jinete. Trivec looking to break in for what would seem like the first time that they've been able to break a hill all game long. A beautiful blue kill feed, although they got to look to Suspects, who's all the way up top. S2 almost wins a huge, crucial gunfight. But as Phantom Ice looks to the side of the boat, you're going to be able to jump down. Suspects finds the shots onto 1, and that's going to be clean enough for Jinete Gaming break. Still on the right side of the minimap, sure, you're going to have those spawns there from the side of Trivec, and you finally earn yourselves a glide bomb. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities that you come back here in map number 1. It's just looking very unlikely.
Yeah, Hidden's got that strafing run now available. A little bit of a pop-off potential right there for that player. little bit of answering back from Phantom Ice's success on the other side. And still going to be a lot for Trivec. What, 70 points or so separates these two squads as of right now.
Well, I know we still don't have statistics up at the moment, but if I could offer a word of help, if you are using a PlayStation and/or Xbox controller as the observer, you can push either X and/or square to go ahead. Oh, it's a keyboard. Why? Maybe try the M button then,
Start
and
pressing buttons
maybe
across your
just
keyboard.
just
He's trying to
just open your settings and then open and then turn on the mini map because that'll help everybody out. I love this, but it takes the action away from the screen. But as you can see, player number 2 start to push over towards the point. Suspects will be taken down. Jumper will find 2 S2 and Damien clean up the rest. So, oh boy, this is interesting. There we go. Yes, now go down to minimap. Yes, yes, yes. Turn that on. Turn it
Yes,
on.
sir. There we
Yes,
go.
you're turning me
Good
on now.
there.
We
There
finally
it
have the
is.
minimap now. You can take that away, yeah, folks. Baby steps. It's
We got
baby
the
steps,
graphics we
just like
need.
Trivec is at the same time because they're only down by 40 now.
Exactly. Exactly. It was quite a little run. Fortunately, we didn't get to see a whole lot of it, but that was a whole lot of slays out. I'll tell you that much. S2 now on a run of their own. Glide bomb ready for S number 2. He's gonna be looking through this choke point, pushing up. Phantom Ice does not give them the attention that they needed. Headshot there, but Allen finishing this one out towards the end. Next rotation of hard points coming in just a little bit, Tim McCormiel.
Now, Alex, I don't know if this is going to work either, but I'm just going to keep giving you little tidbits of things to try. Maybe try pressing P. I don't know if P is going to be
P
able
for
to pull up the
chat. Duh.
statistics. I was just thinking P for player, but that works too. Maybe S, or maybe try. Well, I was going to say maybe some of the numbers, but the numbers are just going to change the actual people. So you know what? We're just going to keep that. There we
Oh
go.
yeah, there we go. There we go.
W,
Okay.
Damien, 4 in a row. One more, we'll have a glide bomb. And Jinete, I mean, despite a really early lead, Trivec have gotten themselves right back into this game. It's only 15 points left. That just goes to show how on the first set of rotation, sure, your team might be able to get out, get to the next hill, and be able to win those crucial gunfights. But once you let another team start to warm up a little bit in the game, that just goes to show you how quickly it can turn back around. We're only on point number 2 of the second set of rotations. We're going to hill 3, and Jinete Gaming just looked lost in the first set.
Yeah, and that's Trivec now taking the lead here, even if it might be a slim margin. Moving on to next hard point here in just a little bit. That's going to be Jinete spawning all the way out on this right side. This area, number 8, that's Damien, going to be holding this one down for right now. Kill streaks called out here, and that's actually going to land a lot on this Jinete gaming squad, especially if they do respawn back out a little bit farther south from that. So you're not going to be in the way of damage and danger for that right now. Forced to move on in here. Hidden Season, watch his teammates fall one by one. Cannot take this one out to the outside. SMG's placed inside, and that's going to be Jinete taking this one back with a vengeance.
One streak can lead to snowballing on a team. Trivec just proved that to be absolutely true. You saw a little bit earlier on, I believe it was S2 who was able to get the first streak for the side of Trivec. You use that, you got yourselves into the hard point. Then it really was no looking back from that point on. But now it's going to be a head-to-head game once again. Trivec looking to go ahead and rotate across the map. They were able to hold this one down for about 25 seconds the last time we saw point number 4. It was, however, though, the side of Jinete that was able to break on in. Except the thing is that after that fact, it was kind of the side of Jinete and Trivec who went back and forth. So now if you're a Jinete, you've got to be very, very careful about how you go to break this hill. Sure, you're going to want to set up a pinch play, maybe find those first 2 to 3 kills, but you want to make sure that you wrap all the way back to the back of the spawn like they're doing right now, because that's going to force your team to spawn close to the left on the point, but unfortunately, there just weren't enough bodies there, and thanks to SWAT spawns, Trivec still holds on to the point, or at least the spawns. They can try to push back, but again, Jinete have done a great job of being able to break in. They'll retake the lead once again.
Yeah, so this red squad, once again, names flipped, Nete in the left, in the red, technically. I mean, you said it best, man. These spawns can be rather sticky, we'll say. And that happened, just really come out for an advantage for Nete, not that far away. We'd be looking at a situation where Trivec would probably be on a 30-point run as of right now if they did not get those closer spawns. Tried to initiate that one towards the end, not going to happen. Now looking on to the next hard point. And we have a game in every way, shape, and form. This is 120 points difference at one point, McCord.
It was something like that, man. But now you look at the side of Trivec, you finally crossed the triple digit, or rather the 200-point threshold. You got the side of Jinete, who is now running the clock up here at point number 5. We're going to see at least the third set of rotations here. Will it end on the flat kill? Most likely. But right now, you're sitting inside of point 5. You're happy because you got Joe, who's just locking down the point. Phantoms, suspects, You're just sitting in different lanes. You're just making sure Jinete, or rather the side of Trivec, they can't push towards the point, and they're spawned all the way over towards the right side. So it's kind of a foot race to get back to the point. You're going to be damn close to being able to win this game. It might just be 1 point if Trivec can't push in, but Joe pushing out of the hill right there to find that kill was huge. We'll see what Damien's able to do here as he pushes towards the point. S2 has a huge, beautiful brag kill that's going to allow them to get the last 20 seconds of time.
Yeah, 16 seconds or so as of right now. Trivec takes all of this. Will be close to tied up, but not quite there. Moving on and taking position is definitely going to be the name of the game for Jinete. There's a little bit of back and forth here inside point. Suspect going a full rotation on this outside, leaving cover for himself on the bottom, finds one quickly. And that is not going to have decided it, but that's definitely going to give Jinete a huge advantage on AA gun coming into these next sets of rotations.
You get everything out of there, but you look at S2. A glide bomb's going to be earned, but suspects will take them from behind. You got to invest a streak right now. This has to be the end all be all. If you don't invest a streak now, you're going to lose this game. 5 seconds left. You got 2 players on the point. Everybody else is trying to go ahead and flood the hill. You look for suspects. He's found one over towards the right side. Trivec have done everything they need to do to keep themselves alive on the flat gun hill. Now it's going to be about rotations for the side of Trivec and breaking in for Jinete. Jinete can just fly bodies towards this point. It doesn't matter what they do here. And as Joe breaks in towards the point, Damien's going to be there. You got to look for the last person starting to push up now. It's player number 3 in Phantom Ice. Now it's the rotations, though, because it should be just a little bit of time. No, it's a foot race back to the point. Allen's going to be there first, and it looks like that should be the game. If Hidden cannot find the kills, you get one, but everybody else is there. Great baits, great races, and great team effort from the side of Jinete Gaming there. Despite a crazy comeback from Trivec, it just wasn't enough there in the late game. 250, 227, map number 1 to the side of Jinete.
Yeah, that was Jinete all day long in that first. Phantom Ice has negative 1 HP in this down there bottom left, right? How interesting the UI comes through for this game. Yes, but back to my point. This was entirely Jinete all day long with a bag of chips in the first beginning of this game, really going on a run. We saw Phantom Ice popping off there, kill streaks and more. And you're talking about like P2, P3 at that point, McCorn Meal.
Yeah.
Then Trivec really coming back at this, showing that they're not going to go down without a fight, not going to go so quietly into that night McCorn Meal. And Jinete just really wrapping this one up at the very end. That point on AA guns, I think it was just destined, right, to have ended
Yeah.
there. Both teams getting so close. Trivec came in and then actually they contested that out for a few seconds, so it kind of looked like it wasn't going to be able to go one way at that point. But really, when you're talking about 5 seconds left, it's garbage time.
That game really came down to Trivec not being able to find any sort of life and or momentum throughout the first set of rotations, because despite that game being as close as it was at the end, you get even 20, 25 points off of your first couple of hills in that first set of rotations when you came out cold, when you came out slow. That game completely changes simply due to the fact that after you get on that run, after you take the lead, you would have had so much better of an opportunity to then yourselves win that game 250 to 220 or 225, whatever it might have been. And it's just unfortunate simply due to the fact that after you've gone through all the trouble of bringing yourselves back to that point, the composure was there from Jinete to go ahead and secure that. So just a little bit better play at the beginning of the game changes the entire scheme and the entire complexion of how that hard point plays out. And we could have even seen Trivec being able to have themselves inside of the lead, not only inside of the hard point, but in this series overall. And that could come back to bite them in the butts, depending on what we see here through the next couple of maps. But a search and destroy around the corner. It's going to be on Tuscan to go for map number 2. Again, remember, this is the winner's semifinals, the best of 5 series, and you're watching the Kraken bounty from the Florida Mutineers, all powered by After Dark Esports. We'll be back for the rest of this best of 5 here for map number 2 in just a moment. We're going to kick things to a quick break.
lost my ego fragile, emotionless, I learned to handle. Karma served as retribution, but revenge wasn't any use then. I thought I was fine, yeah. But now I'm realizing that shit only matter when you gonna hit and you swallowed your last breath. No more can you use me, I'm fighting myself to show me that I'm worthy of loving myself. Not anyone else. Not anyone else. Patience, I waited. Explore my mind and figured out the truth. Respite, I hate it. It's time I break the clouds and shine on through. Shit might break me down, baby. But in this light, there's only maybes. And overthinking might have brought me back full circle. Ooh. Let's be honest, I've been distant. I can't focus, I'm dismissive. It's the closing light, my vision's tunnel view, no luminescence. It don't really matter what the consequences, cause I really smile. Just to gain everything. Thought I was fine, yeah. But now I'm realizing this shit only matter when you gonna hit it, you swallowed your last breath. No more can you use me, I'm fighting myself to show me that I'm worthy of loving myself. Not anyone else. Not anyone else. The pain. Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing.
Map number 2, Trivec and Jinete. The teams, once again, unfortunately, on the wrong sides. Again, we'll walk you through it as best as we can. But just remember, Jinete inside of the red, Trivec in the blue. Phantom Ice looking over towards the left. First push is going to come through. We talked a lot about the GAs of snipers in the last few days. Right now, though, it looks like the smoke is going to help out in a huge way because the offensive side has already pushed up the map. The side of Jinete have gotten the bomb down. 45 seconds, a 1 versus 4 attempt here from Taco.
Yep, clean sweep there at the very beginning. Taco maybe facing some opposition in chat. That's not going to happen. Our first round of search and destroy. Little rotation action, little flank action. That's going to be the second here for Allen. Finding that. And moving on, Jinete Gaming coming off of a 250 to 227 hard point in game number 1, in case you're just joining us.
Offensive try here for the side of Trivec. Potential to go over towards A. B doesn't get a lot of love here in Search and Destroy, and that's, well, for good reason. Offensive side gets to A a lot faster than the defensive side does. That's why you'll see the utility of smokes from the defensive side teams to try and push themselves up onto the offensive side of A. Fortunately, it just doesn't work out all that great all the time. Allen, a little bit of a mind game there with player number 6 inside of Hidden. He'll run up the staircase. The bomb will go down over towards the A side. It's going to be a 4 versus 3 for the side of Trivec.
Yeah, now it's going to be 1 through 4. That's Jinete in the left and the red here. Fighting this one 3 to 4 for right now. Phantom Ice not checking corners, and this looks like a complete flip situation. A 4-0 run. Mailing shots, not going to happen. Damien finding both of those last two. And get a clean 1-1 right here. Like you said, I don't think we're going to get a whole lot of attention onto this B bomb site. If anything, it's more going to be used for that distraction factor.
Let me go ahead and handshake off a couple of offensive rounds there. Just warming up, both teams adjusting well. Going to be thrown at them here early on instead of the Search and Destroy. We've seen a lot of teams really start to go ahead and make their bread and butter, though, once you get past, 2-3 rounds inside of Search and Destroy, and they can really kind of figure out what the other team is going to be doing, feel them out, and then be able to base their assessments off of that, though. Defensive side, Damien tries to line up the nade over the top. Going to be able to affect at least one player. Beautiful shots there on a Phantom Ice for a first blood in the round. The defensive side finally has a man advantage here instead of the Search and Destroy. It only took them to get to round number 3 for that to happen.
Yeah, so I believe Phantom Ice fell first the second round right there, and now a flip of offense defense. Looks like a completely flipped situation as well. 3-4. Last time Jinete took this, it did not go well for them. Allen pushing onto the outside, little jump action and more. Bomb planted, and everybody alerted to this A-bomb site. Allen and company trying to get out of that one. Not going to happen. Damien sending some long-range ones, that automaton down that left side angle.
And that was so good for information, too, because now you guarantee yourselves, at least over towards A, that outer sight is completely locked off of players, and that's going to be the last one that falls on the side of Jinete. So a defensive round finally being won here. Trivec goes ahead and wins it first. They'll give themselves a 2-1 lead, but just talking a little bit more about that retake, once those two players are running away from the bomb after they get that down, you automatically clear out two players. You get information on the last player, or just know that they're going to be playing off of the site and probably in towards middle map. It's very easy to retake that, especially once you get that first player killed over towards outer A. Boom, round over. You get yourselves a defensive round win just like that, and that's a beautiful, beautiful way to get yourselves a lead here in the S&D.
Very, very well put, McCormiel. First player, I believe that was Allen in the back, did fall. Second player got damage on, but it's far more so important the information garnered from that engagement. A longer sideline it is indeed. Every player knows you're really going to have to beat feet. It's absolutely sprint down there, not a marathon, to get out of the way of danger. Everybody looking at A yet again. Only player from this blue side that is not is Hidden, sitting out there and babysitting as of right now. S2, that's Taco finding a nade kill early. Plant coming in. A once again being a place where it's all going down.
It's another big first blood. The defensive side has not been able to push up the map at all, especially since they don't have the man advantage. The defensive push, or rather the setup for the post-plant positions from the side of Trivec, can be absolutely instrumental here into winning yet another round. Allen and Suspects, they'll play this one together as they basically have to. 25 seconds left to get back to the bomb, kill the players that are surrounding it, as well as finding that defuse to go along with it. And you have to start thinking about the conversation. S2 on 4 in a row. Jumper, 3 in a row. You want to stay alive, but at the same time, you want to be able to win this round very quickly. They do just that. I'm not sure if that was for the glide bomb or not. Either way, though, they got a bunch of players who are very close to being able to find streaks.
Yeah, when you're talking about, yet again, this bomb site that's completely open, and then, I mean, even places that you could try and take cover from, right? You try and get in the bottom level of this church area right after that. You're literally going to have to call these kill streaks as they are coming in. Phantom Ice, the heavy hitter, the land winner here for your Jinete Gaming squad. Coming in round number 4, do mine eyes deceive me, McCormiel? 0-3 as of right now. Have not found the kill yet.
Yeah, we're on a donut watch. Potentially a pack watch, too, at the same time.
The Owen Wilson watch.
Yeah, sure.
Jumper. 0-4, a new last name garnered there.
Damien looking up top. Joe's going to be able to find the challenge with the MP40, by the way, against the automaton. That's just a nice gunfight win. That leaves things in a 2 versus 2. A big kill, though, at the same time. That evens things out. Now makes it a 1 versus 2, a 1 versus 1. Jumper was on 5 in a row. That's a glide bomb. S2 trying to find the kill and will. 2 glide bombs to use now for the side of Trivec Gaming. They take that with a 4-1 advantage inside of map number 2. And again, we talked about it beforehand. Jinete barely were able to scrape by in map number 1 after a mid to late game comeback from the side of Trivec. Well, now here inside of the Search and Destroy, trying to tie the series up 1-1. It's a beautiful start. You just got to close out with 2 more rounds, and that should be very, very possible with the help of Glide Bombs.
Yeah, especially given that they literally only need 2 more. This goes on offensive pushes for the side of Jinete. They're going to have to either invest into B, the unoptimized bomb site, or try and play onto A. And I mean, a wipe either way. You get 2 of these, you spread them out, 1 per game. That's going to guarantee a kill, not 2 more. Down bottom, that's where the action's going down. Suspects finding the first one in the headshot fashion. Allen more rotating on a slower movement as of right now. He's got a player just outside, but he does not have X-ray vision like we do.
Well, that was nice for Allen not to push down the staircase tugboat, because he didn't run out aimlessly into someone that could have been pre-aiming him all the way towards the back from the side of Trivec. You win this round, you put yourself in a situation where, hey, hit some shots, Allen. But at the same time, and by the way, Bloom's not in the game anymore, so that was just him not hitting those shots. But at the same time,
call it out here, but yeah, Bloom is no longer a factor. You can't call that one out.
Jumper trying to find his way down the staircase out to the back, the fountain. And go ahead and play around it. Allen jumps around the corner. This time we'll actually find the shots, though. We'll find the round win. And Jinete Gaming will get their second round here on the board. So that's a big step in the right direction. However, still down 2 rounds. It's not going to be a lot that you're going to potentially be able to have in terms of happiness and or motivation, knowing that they still have potentially 2 glide bombs left in their pockets. Now, the one thing that I will say is that if you are the side of Trivec, you want to use these streaks very, very cautiously, but at the same time, with a bit of ballsy action in there, because you don't want to waste a round of Search and Destroy where you invest a streak and then you throw that round away, and then all of a sudden Jinete Gaming's right back in it, down either 3-4 or maybe even tied 4-4, and then all of a sudden you don't even have that investment anymore. But over the middle, it is going to be a couple of nades and suns that come through. Another first blood to the side of Jinete. We were talking about the pack watch for Phantom Mice with the donut shop run around. This time, though, he'll find 2 kills. He's on 2 in a row. Now 2 players from the side of Jinete working their selves towards potential streaks.
Yeah, no Dunkin' Donuts here. Get on out of there. We're going to be looking at a 2-4. Phantom Ice, not that bad. Joe Bebe is what we're looking at right now. 2-4 as well. MP40 in hand and playing babysitter on top of this A bomb site. Shots and information. That's once again going to be the big thing. Bebe finding 1, getting damage on the second one. Not going to happen. Taco stays alive for right now.
I'm still down. Jumper in a 1 versus 2. You can try to find the player up top or the player down below. They're playing it so perfectly together, and we'll find Jumper at the exact same time. So 2 quick, succinct rounds for Jinete Gaming. Still down around here, still 4-3, but at the same time, now their opportunity is here for a comeback in map number 2, kind of the exact opposite of what we saw in map number 1. But again, folks, if you are just joining us, best of 5 series, winners semifinals underway. One of these 2 teams will guarantee themselves at least a top 3 placing by getting to the winners finals. The other team will have to go down to the shark-infested losers bracket and, of course, try to find their way back to a grand final, potentially even just the losers finals. They're not guaranteed to get there just yet. Phantom Ice, nade over the top. 2 players once again still continuing to streak for Jinete. 2 more kills for Phantom Ice and or Allen 4D will get them at least a glide bomb, potentially a strafe run a little bit later on if you're able to find kill number 6. Bomb's going to go down. Nobody off the board just yet with a 45-second time limit.
Yep, there you go. There's the reset right here. Everybody rotating in, trying to get their defensive or offensive positions onto A. This one getting so close to Allen does not check sidelines again. This is 1 kill away from Trivec, putting Jinete on game point right now and tying up the series. As I say that, Phantom Ice shredding 1 out so far. Top church area, going to be looking outside, wisely deciding to take longer sidelines on this. I can almost guarantee you Phantom Ice pops out on this Automaton with only 10 shots in hand versus MP40 SMG. We know which way that one goes, right?
Yeah, and I'm happy that he makes this play, because you stay alive here, you keep yourselves on your streak, and you play for an opportunity for a glide bomb in the next round, because you know you're going to lose this round 9 times out of 10. You're in a 1 versus 4, unless you pull off a miracle, almost impossible play with 20 seconds left to find those last 3 players. Sure, you go on and tie the game up 4-4, but again, miracles don't happen on a normal basis, and that wouldn't have been a round where you would have even asked for a miracle. So now we're down up to match point. Trivec, we're trying to tie the series up 1-1 or 1 round away from pushing us to a map at number 3 and going to a bocage or Jesus, I just botched the hell out of that name.
Yeah,
Bokij,
okay.
map number 3 for Hardpoint. And then, of course, to Berlin in map number 4, because we'll be guaranteed at least 4 maps if the set of Trivec can win here. Minute 20, 10 seconds off the clock. Bomb over towards A. No bloods just yet.
You can tell you're South Florida because it's not Bocage like you would be here in
Bokij.
South Carolina, right? Oh my. Joe Bebe getting granted one Christmas Day. Present has been opened. That's going to be a fantastic start here for your Jinete gaming squad. Jumper taking a couple shots. Allen going to be ending him out, rounding that at the end. Bomb back in hand for Jinete gaming at a 3-2 lifeline as of right now. A slight advantage for them. We don't even have a possibility for Trivec to drop those because both of those players with those streaks are not present in that last part of game. Trivec losing, Jinete winning. I know the words on the screen might say otherwise, but pay no attention to them. Pay attention to your golden-throated casters.
I'm not 100% sure if Phantom Ice was able to stay alive and earn the streak. It's my fault for not paying attention to that much. But
Damn it, McCormill. We said it before then.
I mean, at the same time, he's still on 4 in a row, so he hasn't died yet. So he still has the opportunity to play for the streak here. I believe someone from the side of Trivec actually did use a glide bomb through the middle of the map in one of the rounds, so I believe they only have 1 streak to use left. Don't quote me on that for 100% fact. That might be a check fact later, but Bomb working its way over towards A. Damien going to be the first one pushed up the map. 7 and 4 for S2, 7 and 6 for Jumper. Looking to make some magic in the middle of the map. Allen and his teammate and Joe just a little bit stuck right now. You got Jumper who's all the way up and towards the top of the middle building. A broken window could be the end of the life for one of the players from Jinete. Still a 4 versus 4. Looking for the first blood here. Jumper's just going to play these peak angles and look for maybe 1 or 2 players and try to play the audio cues.
I think that he knows that Joe Bebe is down there regardless, especially given sidelines. His attention is going to be up on top church as of right now. Other side, that suspect's mailing some shots in, but I think that was mostly for some touchy-feely. No harm, little bump and grind, McCormill. Allen outside, getting shots from the inside, wisely getting out of that one, getting out of that one quickly. Still no one down here. Still 4-4v4.
That's why you saw Damien trying to play these corner peeks, because you knew he was there. Damien will come around the corner, but Suspects makes a huge play because that gives them top control in the middle of the map now. So that broken building no longer belongs to the side of Trivec. 3 versus 3. Damien still with the bomb in hand, looking for the player that just rotated into the church. He got middle map control, but really nothing else. Damien, another beautiful peek around the corner. The peeker's advantage pays off, but that allows Phantom Ice to come in for a trade, which gives the glide bomb now to the side of Jinete. 1 versus 3 opportunity here now. Trying to go ahead and find the last few shots. Allen will be there. It was once a game where the side of Jinete Gaming was down by a tremendous amount. Now we're going to a round 11 with the opportunity for a comeback to put them at a 2-0 lead in this best of 5 series.
Yeah, folks, we were looking at a 4-1 scoreline in the search and destroy. Really a situation where Trivec, especially coming off of an incredibly close 250 to 227 hardpoint, I would say that puts them in advantage all day long. Now, it is literally anybody's game. Round 11, we'd have it no other way for our first search and destroy on broadcast here for your Kraken bounty. Lord of Mutineers powered by AFD. Also, cash-wise, I'm not sure if we mentioned this earlier, right?
No, we didn't.
So winner here gets guaranteed top 3 performance, but not top 3 gets paid out. Only that top 2 gets paid out. That's $2,000 a first, $1,000 a second. That's just for placing Call of Duty, y'all.
Hidden, can you make a kill? Can you make a play with the rest of your team that could amount later on to a lump sum of money around the corner? Trades are going to come through. Hidden goes big and finds 2 here in the round. Looks to turn around to find the third. Joe will escape back down the staircase with the life. 2 versus 2. What bigger way would you want this round to end?
Oh, no.
Just slide around the corner. Hidden's going to be there. Goes for number 3. Looks for number 4. Almost was able to do it, but can't finish the kill. S2. Phantom Ice. 1 versus 1. 40 seconds left. Bomb down in the top of the church. You got to be praying for a miracle here if you're the side of Trivec Gaming. You don't want to go down 0-2 in this best of 5. Phantom Ice on 6 in a row. Looking to end on 7. He's going to call the streak in over middle map. You think they're going over towards the A site? The bomb hasn't been picked up yet. S2 might just read this perfectly. Over on the staircase. Is you going to get caught from behind? No, you're going to be able to get the bomb. Phantom Ice actually just saw the player, so this could be from behind, but is Phantom Ice going to push it? He's going to slowly start to peek out now. Going to look over the top. Oh, no! I thought that might have been able to give S2 a chance to turn around, but Jinete come back down from 1 to 4. Win it there. Phantom Ice, we were talking about the donut at the beginning of the game. Didn't die a single other time after he started out 0-4. The pack watch was completely reversed. They're smoking on the Trivec pack now.
Oh, absolutely. There's going to be steam coming off every way, shape, and form because this is a hot to trot squad. Jinete Gaming, like you said, coming off the 1-4 right here, just on the cusp, right, of losing the advantages they took from that 250 to 227 hard point in game number 1. Doesn't matter. Bo Cage going to be our hard point next with Jinete Gaming. It might have been close. It might have been tough. Doesn't matter. Jinete Gaming up 2-0.
And that's so tough too, because Trivec, you have the opportunity with 2 glide bombs to be able to close out the series with 2 quick rounds in a row. And unfortunately, after Jinete got that first round, you could just kind of tell that there was a sort of demeanor change in the entire game as well. When Jinete started getting a little bit more aggressive, they controlled the middle of the maps. They controlled that A site really well on offense and defense. And when they shut down the side of Trivec, especially when they got to that situation where it was 3-5, that's when we really started to see the cogs turn, and it almost seemed like Trivec was playing a bit too passive for my liking, at least. And that kind of cost them at the end because we know Jinete is going to be an aggressive team. These guys have played together for quite a long time, especially when it comes to After Dark Esports and the Mutineers LAN events, where we now have ourselves a team that is consistently making it to Sunday, consistently making it to the top 3. They might not have been able to be in a position to necessarily outright win something just yet, but they put themselves where they have an opportunity to clutch up and make those big plays. So with the technical ability there that they have to not only clutch that S&D after coming back, but be able to have the composure after a comeback was almost attempted and completed on them in map number 1, we go to map number 3, where it looks like this is basically going to be over unless we can see a reverse sweep. It's been 2 very close games back to back, but is it going to be enough for the side of Trivec to be able to start those reverse sweep into map number 3, where we go to Bokage, and it's going to be hectic as hell throughout the entirety of the map? I just don't think so.
I mean, this there's one theme, right? There's one like tag associated with Bokage. It's just, I mean, how many situations, how many tweets do you have to see of a full team wipe, and you have just bought yourself 12 seconds on a hard point,
If
right?
that.
Like seriously, yeah. Even saying double-digit seconds on a hard point in Bokage after a full team wipe just feels dirty, right? It feels like too long. So I'm giving up too much right here. It's just wild to think about. Put to the test will be Jinete Gaming, will be your Trivec squad coming in here to the Bokage map. Now, McCormick said it best. The full reverse sweep is necessary right here, and that's for Trivec just to stay up in the top of this winner's bracket. We'll be looking at who is that? I had it just a second ago. The Inverse. No, excuse me. Valence. Not sure what Inverse is. Valence and Avengers on the other side. Their winner will be playing against them, and once again guaranteed that top 3 slot. $2,000 on into first, $1,000 on into second. This is not going to be easy. This is not going to be short. This is going to take a while, McCormick. That's my guess. If we see a 3-0 right here, I'm going to say it's going to be an incredibly close scoreline again. Once again, we're counting these 250-227. Game number 1, 6-5. The round 11, the Search and Destroy. If it's going to go down there, we're going to see another 227-250, something like this, McCormick.
And that's also if we, don't go down to the time limit too. So
that's fair. This is Bokage. A lot of tying capabilities, a lot of that contesting capabilities, a lot of that time waste will definitely happen. I mean, especially given that you can spawn and sneeze and be on point. You can spawn and fall down forward and be on point. Oh my God! Do my eyes deceive me? Is it the reckoning? Day of reckoning here, McCormick.
Well, names might not be backwards, but the colors technically are from our first 2 maps. So that's going to take at least a little bit of learning as we move forward. But at least I don't have to look to the left and the right to make sure I'm saying the right team names. So 10 seconds, or rather 20 seconds off the point here so far. And that they have gotten themselves at least the bulk of the time thus far. But I mean, really, how much can you really base upon that? You can't base anything at all. Trivec have found themselves back to the point right now. No mid-map control really for either team. It's just been a bloodbath as we come to expect here on Bokage. The jumper is all the way in the back looking to phantomize over towards the swamp side. It's just going to be another case where we just kind of swap positions around bit by bit and hope that one of these teams can maybe find themselves a solid rotation to P2.
Just plop it down right there. Take as many kills as you can. Pinstripe, kill speed, and whatnot. Doesn't matter. Now Trivec, left side, red side. That's 5 through 8. Getting a little bit pensive about this first hard point, but now the rotations come in, and once again, you can sneeze and be there, right?
Yep. We'll see what happens on the respawn here. Trivec got themselves basically the first points of the game. Held down the hard point for a good bit of time, but Jinete have done a great job of being able to circumvent the point, being able to contain collapse, and then go ahead and break into this point number 2. And this is probably one of the best holds you're going to be able to see for at least a good amount of time. And as I say that, of course, a nade comes over the top. And what looked like good positioning from Jinete Gaming, well, unfortunately, the stun comes over the top. The nade comes through and finds the kill. And then Trivec's automatically right back inside of it. So now it's going to be gunfights inside of the barn, trying to regain middle map control for the rotation over towards P3. But if you do want to go ahead and at least give some sort of good pointer to the side of Trivec, at least you have the right side of the mini map gone ahead and contained for yourself to where you technically have the rotations to P3 locked down.
Yeah, so Jumper was still a couple kills away from an actual
Oh,
streak,
no.
given that you put 3 headshots together right here. Joe Bebe now stringing together some of their own. S2, wow. You have to put some angle on that one. Have to, like, you know, angle them up, lob those shots out there. That MP40 still hits them regardless. Damien finding too quickly. Allen popping up top, not checking his left side right here. Going to be taking shots. Wow, Jumper, not a player we're normally going to see missing those shots. Little Luis Guzman right there, not able take that kill. Taco in and out right there. Some streaks have been possible all the way across, but I'm not sure if we're going to see any death from above quite yet, McCornmeal.
You know, it's really disappointing too, because when I was talking about the rotation that Trivec had locked down for themselves, yeah, sure, maybe you're going to be able to get the second half of this hill time right now. But I saw Damien and Hidden. They ran through middle map. They were trying to make a play back over towards Barn to cut the rotation off. What that ended up doing was giving them parallels to Jinete over towards the next point. And that completely cut off the ability that they had to be able to spawn over towards the right side of the map and be close for those spawns in towards this point. So yeah, sure. Like I said, you know, you get the second half of the hill here. You basically go 50-50 with the side of Jinete on time. But unfortunately, they just had so much of a better opportunity set up in front of themselves to even get maybe 40 seconds of time on that hill if they were able to hold down the spawns. And it was just a little trigger-happy play that found themselves inside of the middle of the map, and it just kind of collapsed on them. They're lucky to be able to walk away with that with 25 points.
And talk about a 40-second run. These are the things that legends are made out of. That whispers of the night and myths are happening when you're talking about BO5. Because again, I can just get there simply so quickly. No interruption, nothing like that. 40 seconds, it's unheard of. Trivec, right side in the red. Damien Jumper hidden. That's 2. Going to be going on a little bit of a run themselves. They were down by about 30 points, but like you said, a run indeed for them. And this is going to be more the marathon, not the sprint.
This is what I asked for after map number 1. I asked for Trivec to start out a hard point to where they're not down by, you know, 100, 120 points, and they've done just that. They've actually found themselves an early lead here. Inside of map number 3, again, this is an elimination matches of sorts, but it's not technically an elimination match of the entire bracket. This is to send one team down to the losers bracket. Jinete Gaming have found themselves with a 2-0 lead in this best of 5 thus far. This is the winner semifinals, so you are at least guaranteed yourself top 3 if you do win this best of 5. However, you're not guaranteed to place in the money just yet until you get to that grand final. S2, though, we'll go ahead and find 2 in a row. Phantom Ice and Suspects will fall to the hands of the Trivec player. A decent search and destroy game, but wasn't, fortunately, not enough to be able to go ahead and find themselves a win in map number 2. You look all the way over towards the back, it's going to be a bit of a split spawn for Jinete. They're not just close enough to the point right now, but Trivec was not able to capitalize off that. Nobody even getting close to the point, and this is just wasted time for the side of Trivec. You're not sending anybody to the point. You're not getting any time inside of the hill. And again, I hate to admit it, but this could be another situation where we saw, like in map number 1, where 10, 15 seconds could be the difference maker in a game, and that could have been what loses you the entire map and the series overall.
Yeah, no, I'm with it, McCormill. Don't want to be too negative, but we also have to call it like we see it. S2, Hidden, and Damien sit back on this one, and especially, like, there's very little chance that you actually have spawns coming up behind you. Yes, we're memeing. Yes, it's a small map, but what is the purpose of holding those positions as far as opposed to further ones up, especially ones that crossfire? This is kind of Call of Duty 1. I'm not going to call it 101, right? It's like Call of Duty 102, right? When you're talking about hard plays, getting cross plays in simple positions. These are things that these players have played this map hundreds of times at this point. What is the purpose of sitting that far back? And just like that, Jinete now going on, you know, a 33-point run. These are the thing, you know, the cause effect, right? These are the consequences of actions, my man.
Yeah. You look at the scoreboards right now. You know, Trivec's actually leading in the slaying department in terms of being able to find kills around the map. It's just not equating into the time that they might have hoped for. And again, that goes back to what Tug was just saying. You know, you're not getting time in the hill, which is then affecting you to, you know, not be as effective inside of a map. So now you look to Hidden Season, who was in the point for a bit of time. Looking over towards point number 2 again. The last time, S2 had a nice nade over the top that was able to at least break the front door open for the side of Trivec to get in towards the point. And a beautiful turn back jump is going to be able to find the player at the top of the staircase. So Trivec, once again, find themselves breaking into P2. Can you go ahead and hold on? Unfortunately, the team kill comes through with a glide bomb, so that really isn't going to be all that good for the side of Trivec. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. At least you invest the streak in a way that gives you some sort of, I wanted to say semblance on the map, but you can't really make anything out of that. It's just a team kill at a terrible moment when you have full control of the hill.
Yeah, and I mean, don't beat the same drum. Vocage very small, right? This is not a. It's an indiscriminate explosive, right? It's not something that will not do damage to your teammate. This is competitive Call of Duty. This is friendly fire on all day long. There's not any disadvantage, no advantage to be taking putting bullets into teammates. It's all the same damage, and we have seen strafing runs, all kinds of death from above. I'm not going to run through all the things, right? All kinds of death from above, especially within this game, and especially within this map, yielding in unfortunate team kills. And these are simply not things that you can afford when you're talking about these close spawns.
Venomice all the way in the back with the automaton will be good for 2. Now make it 3 and 4. Pistol shots are going to be there through the tank. Now as Venomice finds himself on a 4 spree, 1 more kill on the glide bomb here as well. He slid around the right side corner, unfortunately will fall to the hands of Jumper. Damien finds 2, and now Jumper going ahead and looking for a feast of his own. Suspects will find the kill in the back, so that clears out the spawn for Trivec. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to, rather for the side of Jinete, but unfortunately it's not going to yield all that much just yet. Player in the corner, Hidden will find himself nice little pickup in front of him. Slides right around the corner, and that was just probably the easiest kill he's going to get throughout the entirety of the game. But Trivec, there you go! That's what I wanted them to have, at least on the first of the rotations, when they rotated to P3 early, was to get a good amount of time. They got 35 seconds off of that hard point in total. They're right back in this game. That's something you don't see every day on Bacage. And finally, my prayers were answered.
Yeah, what pinstripe kill feed we do not see, right? That was all red in the left all day long, just like that. Striking back is Jinete. Now, something else I kind of noticed, there was multiple members. I saw Alan do it at least once. Maybe it was just kind of a feeling of pressure, right? The spawns would come in and they just blindly charge into this, kind of anticipating where players are going to be. But again, these are competitive teams. These are top teams. They're only going to have one player inside taking points when they need to, because the split position of attention is just simply what is required after that. You need crossfire and whatnot. There are multiple Jinete members that literally just charged blindly into that, and they got shot in the back after not checking their corners. Simple stuff. That is Call of Duty 101. I'll say that.
Hidden will fall off the streaks. 32 here, game high for the side of Trivec, and really just either team in general. S2 has done a great job of being able to slay out thus far inside of this game. Trivec will hold on to the rest of the scrap time, and point number 4 will go back to the last hill in the second set of rotations. Minute 35 left on the actual game clock, so this one's getting dangerously close to potentially finding ourselves talking about it going down to game clock instead of the actual 250 score threshold. We'll have to talk about that in a little bit. Damien tries to find the kill into the back onto Allen, but Allen will sniff out the rat who's trying to come from behind. A 6-point lead now growing for Jinete as they find themselves in the bottom of point number 5. That's the last player there. This should net them at least 5 to 10 seconds of time, which doesn't seem like a lot in the grand scheme of things, but when you have the side of Trivec who's really not pushing that aggressive right now and just waiting for everybody to get up the map, one good push that doesn't come to fruition here from Trivec, and Jinete is able to go ahead and break the entirety of what they are trying to set up, that could equate to not only the rest of the scrap time, but not only putting themselves past the 200-point mark and getting all the way to a position where you can win off the next hill, maybe even 2.
Yeah, there's the first right here. Some solid flanks come in. Jumper combining on 2. Hidden finding 1 at the end right there. Now Red is going to be getting the last few seconds here, but that is not what's going to be on their docket. Rotations coming in. Now we just see red and blue players absolutely collapsing on in here. Allen is just outside of this one. As members of Trivec now rotating in. I really like what they're doing. This has been a super flank-heavy team, but just like that, Jinete sniffs that one out. 45 seconds right here. It's not going to end on this hard point, but it's going to come damn close if Jinete continues to get their way here.
Trivec on the cusps of getting sent to the losers bracket. They still made it to Sunday. I believe that will be played out tomorrow. But either way, they're going to have to come into the losers bracket fresh off a loss and have to warm up tomorrow with really no opportunity to find themselves a win going up against the team from the losers bracket. who will be forcing their way forward only via the way of a win. Jumper around the corner, trying to keep the team alive. It's a 40-point lead for Jinete, and as they try to go ahead and put the final nails in the coffin, this should push them past 230. Player number 5 and Jumper trying to push over towards the middle of the map. Now you just got to rotate back on over towards point number 2, but guess who's there? It's suspects waiting. Joe, Allen will find 2, but come back a double of their own for the side of Trivec. Now just 20 points away is Jinete from winning this series in a 3-0. Trivec is going to have to play perfect the rest of the way. It doesn't look like this game will come down to time.
This is just stock market at this point, man. Trade all the way through. Jinete will take that at 22 seconds, and at least another hard point involved here. It is not going to be Jinete that does take this. Just outside 200 points right now, Trivec is getting what they need to done, but at the same time, Jinete could literally just give this up. They could wrap it in a bow, put it under a tree for Christmas, and give it to Trivec and still take this game and this match and this series. Just on the next hard point. Not if S2 has something to say about it, though.
And he makes a great play because that absolutely shuts down everything Jinete were trying to throw at this point. One more kill could have gotten a glide bomb, but unfortunately won't be able to get there. Might be a 40 point for the L here in map number 3. You're just trying everything that you can do. You're throwing everything that you can at every hold, every push that Jinete has. But will it be enough? Will Trivec be able to find themselves back in this game? Right now, suspects, it seems like the answer is no. Allen will come through the front door. S2 will fall to the hands of Allen. Damien as well. Now Phantom Ice jumps in for the help. 14 seconds is all Jinete need to send Trivec to the lower bracket. 26 seconds left on the game clock, 10 away. And as Trivec now push back towards the hill, you've got a 2-on-3 there. S2 from the back will find 2. Tries to find number 3 through the front door. Hidden's going to be there for the help. But now it's all going to come down to that game clock. 20 seconds left. You've got to get in the hill. You look back over towards the right side through the front door. It's a 3-man hit here from the side of Jinete. Oh, S2 goes big and finds number 4 in a row. Allen on 5. Finally, Phantom will be there. Will it be enough on the game clock for Trivec to stay alive? It will be. Nobody from the side of Jinete can push back yet.
Yeah, that was Taco S2 eating right there. Normally it's the other way around, McCormick. 10 seconds left on this one. 18 on game clock. That means that every single second is going to have to be eaten up just in the transitionary period. And that's if Trivec doesn't invest something early. Last few seconds here. That's 10 now. Red on top.
No way.
30 on top. Now a couple respawn rotations comes in. Phantom Ice finds a couple. 10 seconds left. Up top here, 235. Phantom Ice tries to find something. Not going to happen right there. Take it away, McCormick.
3 seconds left. Joe finds the last kill through the front door. Won't matter. Jinete, despite yet another crazy comeback from Trivec, will go on to win a 16-point Bokij map number 3. They'll take the series 3-0 over the side of Trivec. And you got to think back to map number 1. You got to think to map number 2. So many close games that were winnable, that were right within the grasp of Trivec that they just threw out the window. And that unfortunately sends them to the lower bracket with a 3-0 win for Jinete. Tugboat, I just want to talk about the S&D very partially, because the way I see it is when you go from a situation where you have a 4-1 advantage, you absolutely have to win the S&D in map number 2, because I didn't have them as a favorite going into the hard point after what we saw in map number 1. That almost felt like a must win in the S&D, and it turned out to be a must win situation that they just threw out to the wayside. They didn't invest their streaks in the right ways. They just fell short. They didn't have the composure that we had seen them on some of their comebacks that they had made, and it just seemed like, you know, if they weren't the team that was making the comebacks, it was just falling apart in front of them, and that's exactly what we saw, and that just led to their demise. So realistically speaking, it's just one of those moments that's unfortunate, but you got to shake that off. You got to go down to the losers bracket, and you got to focus up once again. You got to reassure yourselves that you can make it back to the grand final, that you can be able to take the entirety of this tournament. But most likely that'll not even most likely, they will either be playing this team again instead of the lower bracket, or Valiant or the Avengers later on, because I don't see them losing potentially their losers bracket matchup. I see them getting through that, but they're going to have to play three of the Titans in this tournament, because they're the fourth. Yeah, when that fourth pillar falls, you're done. GG's.
Yeah, Atmosphere GG will be the squad that they'll be facing down there. Now, Atmosphere did take Valence to a 3-1. They did not get swept out, Valence Avengers being the other side of the semifinals bracket. But I mean, McCormick, for fear of being too harsh, I have to agree with you. Even your dog shit casters here, right? Kind of understand what's going on when you're talking about having 2 streaks, going back on the offense defense flip at a 4-1 scoreline there in the very end, on a Tuscan map where B is simply not touched whatsoever and A is as open as it gets. It is free
Yeah.
real estate. This is just methodical plays. This isn't some like big brain go to the cheating book of Call of Duty and figure out what it is, right? This isn't something you have to pay somebody for advice for here, right?
Mhm.
Just at the end of the day, again, don't want to be too harsh, but this is just on paper what is necessary, and that simply does not happen. The clutch factor comes in for Jinete Gaming, and if this was a tie up there, this is 6-5 the other way for Trivec. We're still watching the series, and this is a Trivec squad that simply with that momentum, I don't think this last game would have gone that way. And it was a 250 to 234, right? Like you don't get
Yeah.
much closer right here, McCormick. This would be different situations, different looks, and map number 3 entirely. We'd still be watching this series, but that is theory crafting, and that is part of the multiverse that we're not in right now, McCormick.
How you looked at that map number 3, and the biggest flaw, at least for myself, is the fact that there were so many missed opportunities for the side of
Trivec.
this is pissing me off. I'm sorry. It's just the fact that like I'm flustered because Trivec left the hill open so many times. Right.
Actually, that's a
They
great
they
point.
they
Yeah.
left the hill
Over.
open so many times, not just in map number 3, but in map number 1 too. And they had 2 players who dropped 40 bombs in that last map. Nobody from the side of Jinete, I believe, dropped 40 kills inside of that. And 2 players on the side of Trivec were able to drop 40s. So the fact is just simply that you need to play better hardpoint. You need to play a more fundamental game, because sure, slaying slaying will take you far, but it's only going to take you so far. And when you play a team like Jinete that's well oiled, well versed, and has played together for quite some time now, you're going to fall flat every single time, despite all the heroic comebacks that you tried to attempt. So we go to a situation now where you're in the losers bracket. Go back to the drawing board, focus back up on everything that you need to do instead of hardpoint. Find that composure, come back. It's simple. It seems so simple, but it's not.
I don't want to pretend a situation into existence here where main stage doesn't have pressure, where there's not people screaming in your face, where oh, it's just this simple. Yes, on paper, this is what they should have done the search and destroy regardless. What I want to bring the mind to here before we go to a short break and get that other matchup on main stage setup is that point that when Cormier and I were talking about halfway through that map number 3. You said it, 40 bombs, 2 different players. What happens if you just simply take away, say like 6 or 7 of those kills, right? How long does a kill take, right? You're talking about, absolute time to kill, less than a second, whatever. How much time were these players invested and going after these kills, right? And again, you take 7 of these in situations where it just doesn't freaking matter of taking the kills. The respawns are right there. Just play hardpoint a little bit more, and maybe this 16-point differential is a little bit different. Take 7 of those kills, and the easily 20 seconds that players have voted to those kills that ultimately did not matter. Put that on a hard point. What happens there? We watched at least 10 seconds or so outside with S2 and his 2 teammates that were in back situations where they simply should have played a little bit farther forward, and of course kept a player on too hard point. You put that, you reverse it around. What happens at that point? Who the hell knows? We might still be watching this series. As it is, that's gonna be it for the tugboat for this matchup, this series right now. Cornmeal, do we have anything else before we go to a short break?
I don't think we have anything else, but I will say this is our first out of 2 matches here today. The first winner semifinal match. We're going to be kicking it to the other one after a quick break. The teams are going to get set up on our main stage. We're going to get everything fixed up for you on the technical side, and of course from production. We'll be back to you in just a couple of minutes. Guys, don't go anywhere. We're watching the Florida Mutineers Kraken Bounty, all powered by After Dark Esports. I'm a Cornmeal. That's FBI Tugboat. We'll be back in a bit.